Hola, estudiantes y padres. Es tiempo de hacer vocabulario y gramática. Welcome, Spanish 2 students and parents. Time to do some vocab and grammar. As you can see, the items for this week include some question words. We have a lot of review verbs from last week. You will see throughout the course of this video that we have a lot of review with verb conjugation to do as well. So a very, very busy week, a very active week, and we're going to have a lot of practice in class. This is just a very short introduction to exactly what we're going to be covering. The notes that I show you today are the same ones, like usual, that you receive in class, and many of the things that I talk you through will be things that you're actually writing in class as well. If you watch this in advance, as I hope that many of you do, come to class with questions. Formulate those questions in advance, and we can spend more time in class figuring out some of the specifics of the grammatical concepts, and not so much just introducing new things. So hopefully that's a helpful item for you. Let's go ahead and begin. All right. Capítulo 1.2, Chapter 1.2, Vocabulario y Gramática, talking about what you and others do, is the title of this. As you can tell, these first few questions don't have too much to do with that because these are just question words. Let's go ahead and begin though. A qué hora asks at what time. So if you were to ask what time something begins, you'd say a qué hora empieza la clase. What time does class begin? A qué hora es la práctica? At what time is practice? And so on. ¿A dónde asks to where? To where. Generally we say where to in English. Pero en español, ¿a dónde? To where. Cuando asks the question when. ¿Qué asks the question what. Okay. Some verbs for review. You notice there's a lot of AR, ER, and a few IR verbs in this chapter. Some of them are regular, some of them are irregular. There'll be more on that in a moment. Let's go ahead and begin with their meanings if you don't remember them. And yes, on your vocab sheets, you'll definitely want to write down the meanings for all of these. Very important that these verbs are committed to memory. So, el verbo cantar, to sing. Comer, to eat. Comprar, to buy. Escribir, to write. Estudiar, to study. Hablar, to talk. Hacer, to do or to make. Ir, to go or to be going. Jugar, to play, as in to play a game or to play a sport. Leer, to read. Limpiar, to clean. Nadar, to swim. Poner, to put or to place. Practicar, to practice. Regresar, to return. Salir, to leave or to go out. Tocar, to touch or to play an instrument. Not to be confused with jugar, which is to play a sport or a game. Tocar is to play an instrument. Tomar, to take or to drink. The verb beber also means to drink, but tomar is in like tomar helado, to have ice cream, or tomar tomar una agua, to have a water. Okay, so tomar can mean to take in or to drink. Venir is to come or to arrive, and ver is to see. Now you may have noticed a lot of these have some words that look maybe similar in English, or there are some related words. I always want you to look for those items. Like take for instance the verb escribir, the verb for to write. Well, that's related to the words like to inscribe or Sanskrit, things along those lines. So there are words that are related. Moving on, let's see if I can find a couple other here for you. The verb nadar, to swim, a natatorium or things nautical. Let's see, practicar, to practice. Obviously, that looks similar to being regresar. Even though it means to return, we have the word in English regress, which is a way to go back. So there are related words. Just a few items of focus for our grammar for this week. The near future tense, when we're talking about the near future tense, we're talking about things that are going to happen. So for that reason, we use a conjugation of the verb ir, such as voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, or van. So el verbo ir plus a plus an infinitive. Let's go ahead and take a look at an example of that. El verbo voy a comer literally translates to I am going to eat. As we generally translate that, it would mean I'm going to eat, talking about the fact that you are going to do so. So therefore, near future tense. Another example. Él va a limpiar su cuarto. Él va a limpiar su cuarto. He is going to clean his room. Or as we would generally translate, he's going to clean his room. Nosotros vamos a practicar español. Nosotros vamos a practicar español. Literally translated, we go to practice Spanish. As we fix that up and clean that up a little bit, the translation would be, we're going to practice Spanish. Some irregular verbs to bear in mind. Salir, to leave or to go out. We'll show you a little bit more about those irregulars later on in a grammar section. I'll show you all the conjugations of them. But I just wanted you to be aware of these because they are going to be used quite a bit in this chapter. So, salir, to leave or to go out. Venir, to come or to arrive. Hacer, to do or to make. Ver, to see. Ir, to go or to be going. I'll show you all the conjugations of those in just a moment. Quick reminder about regular AR, ER, and IR verb endings. I realize this is a bit of a review for all of you. AR verbs will always end, irregular AR verbs will always end in O, as, a, amos, ais, or an. ER verbs will always end in O, es, e, emos, es, or en. IR verbs will always end in O, es, e, emos, is, or en. So as you can see, the patterns are very similar for all of them. They just change a little bit based on their endings. For example, ER and IR verbs, almost the same except for if you get to the nosotros and vosotros forms. Emos versus emos, or is versus es. Those are really the only two differences there. AR verbs, also very similar, except for the fact that you have a's instead of e's or i's. And you'll notice that all three of them in their yo forms will always end in an O. So those are some things to bear in mind. Some more specifics with the grammar that I'd like to show you. And bringing up our next, this will be the notes that we're actually taking on the reverse side, or some things that we'll be filling in on our vocab sheets. Let's go ahead and get this set up for you here. Muy bien. Okay. AR verbs, as we covered. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Example, nadar. Whoops. Sorry about that. Previous. El verbo nadar, to swim. So, yo nado, I swim. Tú nadas, you swim. Él, ella, or usted nada. He or she swims, or you formal swim. Nosotros nadamos, we swim. Nadáis, you all informal swim. Nadan, or ellos or ellas nadan. They swim, they masculine, they feminine. Or ustedes nadan, you all formal swim. So a lot of things going on there. Yo nado, tú nadas. Él, ella, usted nada. Nosotros nadamos. Vosotros nadáis. Ellos, ellas, y ustedes nadan. ER verbs. Again, ER verbs ending almost the same as AR verbs, only you substitute wherever there was an A, now there's an E. The verb comer is our example. El verbo to eat. Entonces, yo como, I eat. Tú comes, you eat. Él, ella, usted come, he or she eats, or you formal eat. Nosotros comemos, we eat. Vosotros coméis, you all informal eat. Ellos, ellas, y ustedes comen, they eat, or you all formal eat. And of course, when I say they eat, I'm talking about either they masculine or they feminine. When we refer to that, we're talking about the fact that sometimes if you have a group of just guys or a group of guys and girls, the they to which you refer to will be ellos, or the masculine one. If it's a group of just girls, then it's going to be ellas, as a reminder. IR verbs. Escribir is our example for this section. So, yo escribo is I write. Tú escribes, you write. Él, ella, or usted escribe. He or she writes, or you formal write. Nosotros escribimos, we write. Vosotros escribís. You all, informal, right? Ellas, ellos, or ustedes escriben. They write, or you formal, write. Here are some of those irregulars that we were referring to earlier, and I will try to move myself out of the way when we get to ver here in a moment. Salir. And I won't go through all of the meanings of each one of these translations. You should be able to get them on their own, or each one of these conjugations. If you have questions in class, naturally ask. But I will tell you the meanings, and that should give you the rest. Salir, to go, or I'm sorry, salir, to leave or to go out. Ir, to go or to be going. Hacer, to do or to make. Venir, to come or to arrive. Ver, to see. Here we go. For salir, yo salgo, tú sales, él, ella, usted sale, nosotros salimos, vosotros salís, ellos, ellas, y ustedes salen. For ir, you have yo voy, tú vas, él, ella, usted va, nosotros vamos, vosotros vais, ellos, ellas, y ustedes van. For hacer, yo hago, tú haces, él, ella, usted hace, nosotros hacemos, vosotros hacéis, ellos, ellas, y ustedes hacen. For venir, yo vengo, tú vienes, él, ella, usted viene, nosotros venimos, vosotros venís, ellos, ellas, y ustedes vienen. Now I'll move me. Okay, now I'm over here. So, ver, yo veo, tú ves, él, ella, usted ve, nosotros vemos, vosotros veis, ellos, ellas, y ustedes ven. Super. La próxima talked about this idea of at what time, asking what time things happen. Just a quick reminder about that. Use a. First of all, a qué hora is the question phrase for that, and that was part of our vocab. So, a qué hora es la clase, at what time is class. A qué hora es la práctica, at what time is practice. If you wanted to respond to that, you would simply use a verb plus a, and then either la or las, and then whatever time of day it is in Spanish. So, for example, we go out or we leave at 10:30 would be salimos a las 10:30. So, salimos is your verb, a, right here, las, right here, and then the time of day, 10:30, or 10:30 in this case. We'll obviously be doing a lot more practice with this in class. There's some book work and some things that we practice, and we share our answers, and we flesh that out a little bit further at that time. Just wanted to make you aware of that. Last item, near future tense, ir plus a plus infinitive. A conjugation of ir plus a plus infinitive. Example, I'm going to study at 1 o'clock. Voy a estudiar a la una. I am going to study at 1 o'clock. Or simply cleaned up a little bit, I'm going to study at 1. She's going to swim at 3 o'clock. Ella va a nadar a las 3. She goes to swim at the 3 is your literal translation. Cleaned up a little bit. Ella va a nadar a las 3. A lot of information in this, I understand. I say this a lot. I mean it. Please make sure to use the space bar. If you missed class, if you miss what we cover here on Monday, when we introduce this new material, please feel free to watch this at home, fill out your vocab sheet accordingly, and pause things at the right time, fill things in. If you have a question about something, jot them down, bring them back in class, and we can flesh them out a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you guys are learning a lot and having fun in class, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a great weekend.